statement.
Yeah, I mean, just a ton of respect for Kentucky and Cal, and it was a great college atmosphere on a national stage, and couldn't be more proud of our fan base and our students. I think tonight, we set the pavilion attendance record. I think in the SEC games, we're up like 22% in attendance, which leads the league in SEC games. That's just a credit to our student body and our fans. So thank them. Great to see how TD played on senior night. The only thing we didn't do was win, but he was terrific and all game long. We went through a little period of time in the second half, didn't trust offense. We couldn't get Washington stopped, and those two young wings are fabulous. They're just really, really good players. But just came down. We had some possessions, empty possessions, had some good shots. They made plays, and that's what good teams do.
Kermit, what was Washington doing, Kermit, to get so open, or them to just to get him in those favorable matchups?
Well, we got matchups on the guy we put him on, where we doubled him at times, and he just caught it on the wide post and just makes post moves. We got Bruce same spots in the second half. It's just, they have weak side rim protection, and that's something we don't have right now, and we've got to recruit that and get it in our team. But he's just a good player. But he only had 13, and the two wings were the ones that were just played downhill most of the game.
Kermit, I know maybe the execution hasn't always been what you want, but Bruce seems to, from a defensive effort, been more consistent in this last 3 weeks. Have you seen that from him?
Yes, no doubt. No doubt. He had 7 rebounds, and he didn't shoot a bad. Well, he shot one bad three in the first half, but he had great looks. He went right at him, and he missed a couple around the post and had a couple wide open from three. But yeah, his energy level is so much better, and it's helping us, and we just got to keep him going in that direction.
Coach, you harped on energy and toughness not being there after the loss to Arkansas. How do you feel that the team did tonight in that regard?
We had great energy. I thought our team played the entire game. Kentucky's just good. It's maybe the #1 seed, and that's just who they are. And they're tough cover. They're tough cover for a lot of different teams. And them coming off a loss, we got a great effort from them. They came right at us, and I thought their team played well, and just a really good college game. But proud of our effort and toughness.
Kermit, how tough is PJ when he can post up and he can also face and make plays from the high post?
Yeah, we double team at times. He's the toughest one. Grant Williams is a hard one, but I think PJ's a little hard because he's a little taller, because he really sees the floor, and they get him on that same block all the time. Where he kind of go to the middle, and so yeah, he's a very mature player. You know what he does? He doesn't try to do things he can't do. He stays right within himself, and I've told our young foremen in the last couple of days, that's who you need to really watch, because that guy kind of plays within himself with a great maturity for only being a sophomore.
How do you approach Saturday's game, like from an NCAA tournament standpoint? Do you tell your kids must win, or are you not into that? How does that work?
Nothing's a must win unless it's an out game. If it's an out game, it's a must win. It's not a must win, but I think these are all NCAA tournament play-in games. Do I think we're an NCAA tournament team? You bet. I think everybody in our league thinks we are. If you watch us, do we pass the eye test in these games? No question about it. But there's no doubt. It's a really, really big game for a lot of teams on the last weekend of regular season.
Kermit, how tough is it for your team to be right there again, and it just doesn't happen?
I know, Jerry. It's been because what I tried to, tell our team is that we really are literally about 3 possessions away from winning about 8 out of 9, and still have our same warts or same good things, So we just got to keep plugging away, and I'm proud of our players, and I know the progress that we've made, and the biggest thing we'll take off tomorrow is just practice, and got to stay positive with these guys on the floor, and because they're trying their tail off.
Kermit, it seemed down the stretch, maybe the last 3 or 4 minutes, some of the guys just looked gassed. Is that a product of Kentucky just being big and athletic?
I think so. I think they're a physical team. They put a lot of pressure on you defensively. They lead our league in defensive field goal percentage and points allowed. But I thought our team, hung in there pretty good. But yeah, I do. They're an elite defensive team, and that's a credit to Cal for having those young wings to be able to have that kind of toughness at that age.
Kermit, they kind of backed off KJ a lot, almost dared him to shoot.
Yeah.
Is that just a part of his game that's got to come along as he gets older?
And that's why we couldn't get Blake to really guard or rebound. And then when we had a couple guys mismatch on the post, and they just kind of set off of him. He's gonna be able to make a lot of shots in his career. I just think right now with 3 minutes to go, he knows TD or Brian or one of those other guys they're gonna defer to him. So but he's gonna be able to shoot it. But you're right, and that's why we kind of try to sub him, and Blake missed kind of an open three, right there that could have been a big bucket for us.
What was kind of the sense you got from the guys after kind of knowing your most important games ahead, given what you'll have to play for?
We didn't talk a lot about it. We mentioned it, and we just take the day off, and then the biggest thing, we just got to go right through the process. So those guys they understand it, and we'll play a really good, tough Missouri team. And it's just like Cal said outside. He said, this league it used to not be like this. Every team, it's a challenge, and but it's the beauty where it used to be 3 teams in, now it's going to be 8 teams in, and so that's why the SEC has grown.
They've been through this kind of stretch before where they've lost some games. Have you liked the way they've responded and carried themselves for the most part?
I have.
As they dealt with it?
I have. We really did. I thought the way our team responded tonight and played. Even look at Arkansas. That team had Kentucky 15 in the second half. They won at LSU, got beat at home by LSU. Arkansas's a good team. So it can happen on the road. We've just been right at the end, and we just got to make some plays and get some stops at the end of these games.
Remember, what makes Keldon Johnson and Tyler Hero difficult to contain?
God, their strength, Jerry, for their age. In person, their toughness was really impressive to me. Their physicalness, and they're both downhill players. And Kentucky didn't shoot a lot of threes, and if those guys can have that kind of effect on the game, they made 3 threes, but just the way they play downhill, they can finish in traffic, and the way they guard, I was really, really impressed.
Anything else? All right, thanks, Coach.
Thank you.